I'm Cinnamon Coney, the Art Sherpa, and I'm so excited to show you how you can paint with just a few simple steps this rising sun and blue bonsai tree yourself at home using a surprising tool, cotton swabs. Yep, these are just regular household Q-tips, a couple of brushes, and a little bit of acrylic paint, and you can make this. Get your brushes, get your Q-tips, come back and meet me at Easel right now. Let's get painting. Let's look at the materials we're going to be using in today's rising sun video. Here I have a 9 by 12 surface. It is ready to paint. You don't need another thing for it. It's ready to go. I have black paint, brown paint, kind of a yellow gold paint, red paint, blue paint, and white paint. For the exact colors, check the description below so you can see exactly what I used, but you can change this up for what you have at home pretty easily. Now let's start by painting in our background. I'm going to use a big wide brush and I'm going to go ahead and dip it into my water, dragging off the extra. I'm using a big brush just so that I don't make a lot of extra work for myself. You don't have to use a big brush. You can use one brush to do the entire painting if you wanted to. Brushing back and forth to give a smooth finish. And then you're going to want to let this layer dry. Now you can manually dry it with a hair dryer or let it air dry. Either is okay for acrylic. Once your surface is completely dry, and be sure and check that it is because you don't want any of that black paint to get up in your red paint. Pick a large, nice round brush that you have. It doesn't have to be this big, but it can be fun if you have one. You can use any round brush that you have and get your red paint and load it right up into your brush. You can see that I'm pulling it right into the paint. It's got a nice load. I'm going to come right here on my surface and I'm going to paint a wonderful red circle that is our rising sun. Now, while it was fun to put my paint out in a heart to just capture that wonderful, happy love energy, that isn't required for you at home. It's just a fun thing to do if you want to. I'm just making a nice big circle. You can see big strokes. Okay, if you see brush strokes in your sun, brush this around until you're super duper happy with it. I like to make sure that there's lots of red paint so that it's just bright and really, really is going to show through when I put my tree on. There we go. That's really nice. Make sure you have enough red to be happy. And really, that's just making yourself happy. Now, once you have a dot that makes you happy, be sure you dry that so you can do the next part of the painting. When your sun is dry, you can go ahead and put in the trunk. Let me show you how fun and easy it is to put in a crookedy bonsai style tree. So I'm going to get a small round that gives me a little bit of control. I'm going to put it in water and drag off the extra. And my first color that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my brown and a little of my black. I don't want it very dark because it won't show against the background, but I do want a deeper color of bark. I'm going to start a little bit over from the sun here, and I'm going to plant a seed. That's how I'm going to plant that. I'm going to make a little mark, come up about an inch, and then wiggle over, and then come back. So we're making a nice crookedy tree. This is a great tree if you're not really familiar with painting trees because it's allowed to have many bends and turns. Just remember that you want the thickest part of the tree to be at the bottom. You can see I'm just filling this in. I'm not too worried about how crooked it is or any of that. I'm just having a good time painting in the base of that tree. Once I have a nice, big, strong trunk, I can come and add a branch just a little bit above the bend. And it should be a little bit bent too. This is what's going to hold your leaves up. So it's nice to have good branches to support your leaves. Come over here at this bend. And let's add another bit of a branch. And maybe a little friend coming off here. See how it bends like a fork? When you have that, you can come grab some of your yellow gold. This is actually yellow ochre is the exact color. But you could use any yellow brown that you had. I'm going to go ahead and make little highlighting brush strokes that help my tree feel like bark. Another thing I'm going to do is just dance on the edge of my brush, roughing it up, making it more like bark. And you can grab your reddish brown and add some more little bark strokes to your nice bent tree. Really have some fun. And then the last touch I like to take, I'd like to take a little bit of my yellow gold here, and I like to take a little bit of my white and make a highlight and come on the edge. And let's make a little highlight on your trunk on this inside right side edge. And again, just catching little highlights so that your tree feels like it's got some nice light on it. When that's all done, you get to have a lot of fun putting in your leaves using cotton swabs. So grab your cotton swabs. These are bunches of cotton swabs. They're bundled together with little rubber bands. I like to have a few loose ones for detail work. I'm going to take this little bunch here and I'm going to start with my blue paint. I'm going to tap up and down with my cotton swabs. And I'm going to come here pressing up and down. I'm going to make a little small cloud shape almost. I like to think that some of the leaves on bonsai trees look a little bit like clouds. They're pretty wonderful. A little bit like clouds. You can see I'm just tapping up and down, capturing those shapes and structures on the top of the tree. Maybe there's a little bunch that wanders out that way. Let's wander that out that way. You can see that it's wide and then tapers. That's important. And let's go to the top here and add another layer, another deck of leaves, tapping up and down, coming out that way. So we're already getting a nice bonsai shape. Let's put a really interesting bunch right here. Oh, you can see just tapping up and down like a stamp. You can see how they're holding together. And then maybe make another little sort of small one coming off there. Isn't that nice? Now, under the tree, we can also have a bunch. And if my cotton swabs start to get fluffy, what I'll do is switch them over, turn them around in my hand, and use the other side. I'm tapping up and down. I'm not dragging. Tapping, tapping. I'm coming out from the tree. I've got a nice arc on the hill there. Tapping up and down. Less is more. There we go. That's a nice place to lay and look at that beautiful rising sun. I'm going to put these cotton swabs to the side and pick up these bundles. This is 3. I'm going to go right into the white paint and come to the top of my trees, leaves, and tap up and down. Because I didn't dry the paint, it's a little bit wet still and it's picking up into my white paint, and that's very nice because it creates a pretty effect. Come down to the next little bunch, tapping that highlight at the top of the leaves. Oh, that's fun. Tap, tap, tap. Let's make another. Ooh, we got a lot of paint. So if that happens to you, just flip it over to the dry side of your cotton swabs and look at that. The fault turns into a feature. Tap out the pattern so it matches everything else. There we go. Have to hit a highlight right there. Tap, tap. And again, if these bunches are messing with you, you just switch to another bunch and look at this. I like when things happen like that in my paintings because you never know what's going to happen for you guys at home. You never know. So if I can have it happen to me, then it helps you see how you could solve that problem. I like to bring a few out, give it some shape. And let's grab another little bit right here. Really good. Let's come right here into the top of this. Let's create little highlights that are just going. There we go. And anywhere you want to fill in, you just come back with your blue. Give it lots of extra color or leaves where you need to. You can see how it easily blends into the colors above it. Makes so many nice tones and effects. And you can come right down here, finish that beautiful landscape. And then the best part is when you're all done, you get to sign it with your name. So I like to pick a nice detail brush and a color that will show up but won't stand out too much in my painting. I don't want to use red because I want the red sun to be the focus. So I'll come right here and use a small little detail brush to put in my signature. You enjoy putting in yours. Look at that. You have created art today. Thank you so much for your time spending with me. I cannot wait to see your paintings. Be sure and share them with me on social media. You can find me on all the places with the Art Sherpa. It was great painting with you. Be good to yourself, be good to each other, and I want to see you at an easel really soon. Bye bye.